as a tool, you could have Diario as a tool, or the internet as a tool, but communication is a process. It's an approach. Klaro tayo doon, ha? Second is DevCom 203. That's cultural and critical media theories and frameworks in media and communication. So DevCom 202, I handle 202. DevCom 203 is handled by Dr. Alfonso, Gigi Alfonso. Dr. Gigi made that with her bare hands. No? Yan yung model ng population ng UPOU. And if you notice, we have a different model for a population dito. It's in front of the building, but that is the cast of that population. So critical and cultural and critical media theories. This is the subject that you will have a clear, hopefully, a clear understanding of what communication theories are you going to use for your DevCom 300. And this is also the course that will give you an idea of what kind of research are you going to make. Is it a qualitative one or a quantitative one? Depending on your interest and the context that you will be handling. The third course is DevCom 204. That's Communication Research and Evaluation. Again, I'll be teaching that course. So it's about doing your communication research proposal as input to your DevCom 300. So it would be good if your DevCom 204 will cascade into your, or in preparation to your DevCom 300. Otherwise, you will have to, well, it's not a guarantee that your DevCom 204 will be your DevCom 300. But if you have that time to think of what you're going to work on, then you're hitting two birds with one stone. You have your 204 and you have your DevCom 300. It's a course that would also require you to do pre-testing of communication materials. So you will be required to come up with 3 or 5 samples of the materials that you want to pre-test. Not necessarily you did it, but the process of pre-testing the material is to be done by you. And also, you are expected to evaluate. No? Monitoring and evaluation is a very marketable skill. Ako, I'm not an M&E, I am not an M&E formally schooled or M&E, but I'm an international M&E expert. Ano naman, I just work in Indonesia, in Sri Lanka, in Laos, PDR, in Philippines, of course, a little bit of Australia, It's a very marketable skill. Kaya huwag niyong just-justin yung ating pre-testing of communication materials because it will train you on how to be a critical evaluator. So you don't simply look at the objectives and that's it. Because you are being paid to say the project is bad. No? If the project is bad, it will have a second phase to make it good. Pero hindi naman yun. Ano yun? On the side. But in reality, you will be able to see whether a program is working or not based on this course. Kaya medyo mamaster natin ng konti yun. So you have 3 requirements for the particular course. For DevCom 206, Print and Broadcast Media Production, so this is handled by Dr. Bandelaria, our Chancellor. So medyo mamamasyal kayo, Denise, sa mga radio stations, may time broadcast person dito. So that is something that will refresh your DJ days. For DevCom 207, multimedia production of DevCom materials, that will be handled by Dr. Gigi as well. So you'll be doing film production. And sometimes they do exhibit, no? May contest din sa UP Diliman, and some of your entries will qualify for that particular event. Parang may mga summit, mga ganyan si Dr. Alfonso. DevCom 208 will also be handled by Dr. Bandelaria. Communication, social marketing, and social mobilization. So we look at these 3 concepts. No? SOCMOB is an approach. Social marketing is an approach in development communication. And in this course, you will be able to discern what particular communication approach are you going to use to sell a social idea. Basically using marketing principles, economic marketing principles, but applied to the social sciences. So development communication as a social science, although marami nagsasabi na hindi naman daw talaga science ang development communication, ano, social science. Because we're not really into the natural sciences, but it is a social science. Okay, number 242. DevCom 242 is communication and media in the ASEAN context. This is being handled by the Dean, Dr. Alexander Flor. So here in this course, you will be required to do blogs, a paper on the ASEAN context. And I think it's a very interesting course where you have to go beyond Philippine context. And DevCom 263, communication of scientific and technical information, that will be handled by Dr. Joanne Serrano. The most difficult daw, oh. I think it's a matter of mindset. Hindi, kasi may mga quizzes pa to, no? Sobrang dami. Oh, Denise, baka gusto mo mag-share. Wait, record.
Sobrang dami, weekly yan. You post your own. Sa 263, you post your own sa discussion forum. They will reply to you, and you have to reply to everybody. You have to make a reply, you choose two. Mag-reply. Pag nag-reply sa'yo, replyan mo ulit. That's weekly. Tapos, yan yung sinasabi ko, so you will be given 20 links or reading materials. You have to write 1,000 word essay. Pataas yun o pataas every week. Sobra. You have to be very, very ready pag 263 na. Yung iba, mahirap lang. 263, sobrang hirap. Hindi ako nananakot. I swear. Oo. Tapos very critic si Dr. Serrano.
Pero 125 naman si Denise doon. Kaya it pays. And DevCom 300. This will be your master's thesis. So before MDC was non-thesis course, we call an equivalent of this is DevCom 290. So that's special problem. So if you see 290 in the portal, do not enroll in 290 because you belong to the new MDC curriculum. Yung 290, we're finishing off with 290. Siguro mga less than 10 na lang yung matatapos. And then we will delete. We will no longer offer DevCom 290. Kasi minsan may 290 na, may 300 pa. They're just the same. But of course, in 290, you are expected to come up with a thesis as well, or a synthesis paper, or a process documentation output. But for this, thesis lang talaga. To be taken in 2 semesters. So that means your first, dito tayo. Sige. That means your first 3 units will be enrolled in the first semester or the second semester, and the last 3 units, first 3 units you present your research proposal. So Denise, they have to come here, and then each one will present. And like before, sila Denise, they form their committees, and then they present to their committees. This time around, kasi parang we were always on our foot to arrange the meetings, kasi we had several students. So what we did was we followed DCOM. For DCOM, they all come. How many students are enrolled in 400? That's left from 400. Then they sit down with the whole faculty of Information and Communication Studies members and bank. So nandito kami lahat. May pagkain, flowing coffee and all. Flowing din ang tanong, flowing din ang defense, and you will stand up here. But the good thing about that kind of process is you have the whole faculty members to comment on your research proposal. So meron, and it's more of direction rather than testing you, because we don't have oral compre in MDC. I think there's one of you who asked me if there was an oral compre and they were kind of relieved na wala. Kasi naman kayo, you're expecting too much. Hirap na hirap kayo, pamihirapan pa rin. So we don't have compre for MDC. Also for DCOM, walang compre yun. But of course, when you do your thesis defense, it's really on you. The advisor will just be able to guide you, but it's all on you. Talagang medyo, obra maestra, kung si Dr. Alfonso pa, yun ang kanyang obra maestra. So this will be your courses. So wala tayong electives, unlike with the old MDC, we have 9 courses for electives. But for this, we all have lined up the courses for you. So you have no option but to take the courses as they are presented, either on a first or a second semester. So pagka nasa first semester and you are in that course, take it. Kasi pag pinalampas mo yan, madidelay ka na. So this is the proposed sequencing of courses. For the first semester, you are, or is it suggested, propose lang naman, propose, 202 and 208. 202 is an introduction, 208 is an application. I understand you are taking 203. That's okay, that's okay. Siguro for incoming students. Anyway, 208 is an application course. 203 is a theory course. So we decided to have 203 in the second semester as input to your, so that you will be able to prepare your research proposal well. No? So this is the suggested lineup. 202 and 208. Second semester, you have, during the second semester will be 206 and 207. So you take 206 and 242 the next semester. Following semester or the following year, ito na ang paborito ni Denise. Take 263 and 203. Medyo pare silang mabigat. Propose lang naman, propose. Kasi your 263 is a practice of how you write research. How you package research publications. So in a way, it's trying to preempt how you will come up with your thesis proposal. So 263 and 203 will be your theory part. What kind of theory would you be most interested in? And you think that that particular theory will be able to explain your research assumptions. And the next course, or in the next semester, in your second year, take 207 and 204. So makikita tayo ulit sa 204 after 3 semesters. So yung 207, as I have explained, is much like 206. So pwede ka mag-206 doon, pwede mag-206, 207 dito, as long as you take it in the second semester. Okay. Kasi kaya naman yung nagkaganyan, for those who are coming in during the second semester, they can only take 207 and 206. Kaya medyo nahuhuli sila if you are an enrollee starting during the second semester. Otherwise, this would be a balanced combination of the courses. So that in your last year, kita nyo, that's 3 years, you will have to take 300 first, 3 units. We call it 300A, but that's not technically correct. It's just 300 first 3 units, and your last semester is your DevCon 300 last 3 units, where now you will defend. Hindi na sa panel. Not fixed and bound, but just your committee members. So you are to choose 2 committee members and 1 advisor or a member of panel of 3. Again, that's the second time, or that's the third time, kasi this is your first. Actually, you know what? This is the first time that we are doing this orientation face-to-face. Usually it's done online. But this time we opted to have this orientation and at least know how people feel about studying online. So, a total of 30 units for 3 years or 6 semesters. There are cases that you are on full-time. You are like si Ma'am Nel, no? She's a housewife. Baka gusto niyang mag-9 units. Pwede rin. Pwede rin. Pero, sabi ko lang dyan lagi na people would ask me, can I have 9 units because I was given my boss, blah, 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 blah. Fine. But just don't blame me that I didn't warn you. Si Ma'am naman. Because you know how it is. No? You know how it is. You will go through the first 2 courses, and I hope you will learn the ropes of how to go about doing distance education degree. So that would be a 30-unit course for MDC. So by the 3rd year, nakapag 300 ka na, and you have the last 300, pagdating dito sa semester na to, as Dr. Bugarino earlier said, you have to apply for graduation. Kasi the committee now will sit on who will graduate for that particular semester. And if you did not apply, sorry na lang. No application, no graduation. Ganun yung rule. And minsan kami, medyo naawa naman kami dun sa estudyante. So we say, pwede kayo extend. Medyo napipilit ng konti, pero minsan meron talagang hindi. Especially if you have your research proposal presented, defended, and then the revisions took a while, naku, medyo matindi ang ating timetable doon. Just in case you don't finish. Nag-apply ka for graduation, that's fine, but you did not finish, that's fine. Enroll ka na naman ng 1 unit. 1 unit lang, residency, 1 unit. Going back, track back a bit. For your DevCom 300, no, your expected grade, kasi it's a 6-unit course, no, unlike the others, you will have a numerical grade on the assumption that you were able to complete everything. So you get a numerical grade from 1 to 5. If you do not submit all the requirements, you get a grade of EXT. Kung okay kay teacher. Some teacher would evaluate you and give you a 5. 5, ang iba. Ang iba naman, it's either 1 or 5. So, dapat complete ang requirements. If you miss one requirements, EXT na yun. So, dapat, careful kayo doon. So, if you get an EXT, as explained by Dr. Bagarino, you have 1 year to complete. Pag nag-lapse yun, ulit. You have to repeat the whole thing. Enroll ka na naman. If it's not the first semester, you will have to wait for another year. Kaya dapat kumplituhin mo talaga. Okay? For your masters, DevCom 300 first 3 units or the 300A, you get a grade of S. S lang muna. If you submit your research proposal, if you present your research proposal, you get an S. So the person who will give your S is your chosen advisor. So huwag kayo magagalit na, bakit S lang ang grade ko? Talagang S lang muna. If you get the last 300B, you have presented, completed everything, then that's when you get a numerical grade. Again, between 1 to 5. Overall, you will be able to graduate if and only if your grade weighted average, that's your GWA, your average of all your grades, 333, that's 30 units divided by the equivalent grade. So kung ang grade mo sa DevCom 202 ay 1.25, 208, 1, 263, 125, 208, 1. I-add natin yung divided by 30, that would be your GWA. So your GWA should not be less than, or it should be 2 or better. Pag yan ay 2.01, babayu. You cannot graduate. So dapat ikaw ay 2.000 for decimal places. Ngayon, if in case, si Denise honor yan, kaya hindi masyadong problema kay Denise yan. In case you get a GWA of more than 2, we recommend that you take other courses. Parang additional lang to improve on your GWA. Unfortunately, this time, we will not be able to do that because we have taken all the courses for the program. So talagang kailangan bonggang-bonggang kayod ka to the max. That's why we do not allow students who are working to overload. Kasi may habol tayo. Not only for you to become a dean's lister or chancellor's list, but because we have this cap. 2.0 or better. At talagang, some of the courses talaga medyo objective, kaya medyo bonggang-bonggang todo, araw to the max. Yung iba lang naman, hindi naman lahat. Ano ba, Denise? Lahat ba? Hindi naman lahat. Dalawa lang hindi. Ibig sabihin?
Lahat.
Talaga?
Totoo lang sa kayo ng GG.
Ay, isang hindi din naman.
175 binigay mo sa akin doon.
Ganun pa? Mas mababa ka.
Diba?
Hindi, kasi naman yun, may basihan yun. Hindi naman yung basta-basta, is tamad. 1.70. Kung ano yan, despite, imagine mo, despite na 175, ay, Dean's Lister pa rin. Okay, so question so far? Back out na ba? Yes, Carla.
Ano po, diba po, most of us, yung 208 and 203.
Mm-hmm.
So, magiging patas lang ba siya sa 7-year first semester?
Okay lang, patas lang yan. Basta huwag mo lang kakalimutan yung 203 pagdating ng 204. Kasi you will be, keep the materials. Kasi you will be using the materials. And also, once the courses are done, you're done with the course, you will not be able to go back to the portal. Naka-archive na yun. So keep all the materials in your own files. Yung sinasabi ni Sir Librero kayo ng portfolio, if you could use Mahara or any other platform, or you could keep it on your files. Basta huwag mo lang iwala. Okay, so that's the proposal. So ngayon, for your DevCom 300, not all the faculty members were present today, so I'd like to introduce you to them to this PowerPoint presentation. Okay, your DevCom 203 faculty is Dr. Grace Alfonso. Artistahin, ano? Ano yan? Binibining Pilipinas candidate, 1970s. Okay, so that's Dr. Alfonso, so you could get her as your advisor or your member of your panel for your thesis if your interest is on film o kaya mga cultural studies, if you are into LGBT, or if you're into gender and women, yung mga type ng GG, medyo yan siya, qualitative research. So this is Dr. Melinda Bandalarias, is the current chancellor of the university. And her passion naman is, she could go quanti, she can go quali, but her passion really is more on corporate social responsibility, ICT for development, youth groups, community communication, yung mga interest ni Ma'am Mel. Ma'am Mel, ano sabi kay Ma'am Mel? Ito naman.
Totoo naman eh.
O, pag nakakuha ka ng 1.5, ang galing mo. Kay Ma'am Gigi, umuulan, ano?
Pag hindi ka nakakuha ng 1.0, ikaw may problema. Kay Ma'am Gigi.
Kay Ma'am Gigi. Si Ma'am Gigi is very
1.5, 5.0 lang sa Ma'am Gigi.
generous. Ma'am Gigi. Madali siyang i-appease. Madali siyang Si Ma'am Mel, medyo mahirap i-appease. Hindi, very si Ma'am Mel sa mga requirements, exams, lahat po may exam to eh. And very objective ba rin, ano? I'm very OC. Kasi Office of the Chancellor, ikaw naman.
Registrar pa lang si Ma'am Mel, OC na siya.
OC na siya.
Sa banks pa lang po, OC na siya.
Ito naman. Hindi, ano lang sa si Ma'am Mel, yung talagang she goes into the details. So lalo na pagka, pagka output mo must have this kind of rigor, hindi yan makakalusot. Social marketing and 206. Okay, next is, syempre ang poging-poging, Alexander Flor. Kaano-ano ko kaya yan? Kapit-bahay yata na. Naman is into ICT for development, knowledge management. You can go quanti, you can go quali. Yan lang. Puro directions lang. Sabihin lang sa'yo kung anong gagawin mo. Bahala sa buhay mo. Si Ma'am Mel talagang susuyurin ang sinulat mo. Line by line, susuyurin ang sinulat mo. Ito naman, susuyurin lang, pero sasabihin lang sa'yo kung anong gagawin mo. Bibili ko na, revise. Meron directions. Kasi as an advisor, you could only give directions. No? Minsan, wala ka talaga mapipiga. Wala kang mapipiga sa estudyante. So what do you do? Katapat yung grade lang. Katapat yung grade lang. Bigyan mo 3, bigyan mo 5. Wala mapiga eh. Di ba? But the advisor could give you some directions na, oh, look for this kind of theory. Perhaps you have to narrow it down. Perhaps you should, merong direction na gagawin. Mahirap din naman yung kasing, bahala ka na sa buhay mo, tapos pagdating mo dito, because you will have to defend. But of course, your advisor, kaya kung pipili kayo ng advisor, dapat yung advisor na yung teacher na medyo medyo makakapalaka yung loob mo, yung medyo hindi ka masyadong mahihiyang magtanong na, Ma'am, hindi ko kasi alam kung anong gagawin. Parang, hindi mo alam anong gagawin, ako pa kaya. Diba? Yung mga hindi naman ganun ang tanong. I have this in mind, but I'm not really sure if it's, the appropriate or the swak ba to, mga ganun. Medyo hindi mo nakakaya advisor magsabi na, mali ka. So, somebody that could help you, during the presentation of your research proposal, you will be able to determine who will be able to help you based on their expertise, based on their experience, and based on their biases. So may bias. So we are being honed to do a particular niche. So yung niche na yun, we build on that niche. So maganda na you choose that particular person to be able to hone you and for you to be able to contribute to the discipline. The next is Ma'am Shirley. Dr. Shirley Hamias is the Vice Chancellor for Community Affairs of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. So I'm with her at the College of Development Communication, and she pitches in as advisor or member of your committee. Ma'am Shirley naman's biases are on network analysis. Pwedeng quali, pwedeng quanti, walang problema. Mga textual analysis, mga content analysis, o mga dyaryo-dyaryo, type ni Ma'am Shirley yan. Mabait yan. Paborito yan ng College of DevCom. Ma'am Mendy, Ma'am Mendy muna. Ma'am Mendy is the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Ma'am Mendy naman, she's a very quanti person. So she teaches development, Doctor of Communication courses sa BCom. So ang bias naman ni Ma'am Mendy is on statistics. So pag medyo bonggang quanti ang iyong research, then Ma'am Mendy will be able to help you. Ayan din, si Ma'am Mendy, si Revise. Hindi mo na naman yung Revise. Meron ding direction. But really more of guidance. Guidance lang talaga ang gagawin ng advisor. Because this is an independent study. So as an independent study, you are expected to think independently. The advisor can only give you some hints, kasi if you depend so much on your advisor, you don't feel well as well. Na parang ano itong grade ko, hindi na ako gumawa to. Diba? Diba? Right. Uy, hindi naman. Ano ko yan eh? Alaga ko yan eh. Hindi naman. Sabi, Ma'am, hindi ikaw. Sumasakit na ang ulo ko. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning kachat ko. Sumasakit na po ang ulo ko. Hu. Sabi ko rin, hu. Masakit na rin ang ulo ko. Baka akala mo. Ikaw lang. Sino? Ay, hindi si Divine, si Erwin. Si Polito. Nung pa siya kasama pang nanay pag-graduate, sinumbong pa ako, yan, mami, ang advisor ko. Oo nga, ma'am. Itong anak ko ay hirap na hirap, alas 3 na ng umaga. Sabi sa loob ko, hirap din po ako, hirap, sabi ko na. Okay. Hindi naman niya si Ted. Yan si Dr. Librero. Siya ang father ni Sir Al. Si Dr. Librero naman is to community broadcasting, instructional materials design, instructional systems technology. Pwedeng quali, pwedeng quanti, pero mas quanti. Mas quanti si Sir. Ayan, isa pa yung revise. Yung talagang general directions lang, general directions. You will not expect them to go over your thesis, your manuscripts line by line. Pero yung ano na yon, questions na yun would be very substantive. Very substantive that you will be able to, alam mo yun, parang eureka. Ay, oo nga. Sundot-sundot lang ng just give you some ideas na, ay, yun pala yung idea na yun. Na parang bibigyan lang kita ng konting direction, then you know how to gear up. Yan, ganyan si Sir. Eto, si Ma'am Jean. Dr. Jean Saladades is the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration. She's a DCOM faculty and a faculty of Management and Development Studies, and she's into pure quality. So kung ang mga research mo ay mga phenomenology, mga ethnography, yan mga type na type ni Ma'am Jean. Si Ma'am Gigi, mga critical theory. Si Ma'am Jean, phenomenology, ethnography, photography, narrative, case study, yun mga type. So if you're planning to be doing something quali, yan, perfect for you. Yun lang. Kailangan perfect din ang output. Kung talagang gusto mong bonggang-bonggang quali, yan. Paborito ni Denise. Oh, bait-bait yan ni Ma'am Joanne, ha? Ma'am Joanne naman is to environmental communication, scientific writing, ano pa interest ni Ma'am Joanne? Culture, pwedeng quali, pwedeng quanti. Wala masyadong problema either if it's quanti or quali. Because that's one thing that you could consider in forming your group. What kind of study are you going to do? Because that particular person is already an expert in that particular area. So you have the topic, you have the research rigor, then you're in good hands. Tiis-tiis ka lang kung anong pagawa sa'yo. Okay, so that's Ma'am Joanne. And of course, syempre ako. I can also go quali, I can go quanti, I could go kahit anong topic. Because you know, as an advisor, you always have to take into account the interest of the students. So pagka minsan kasi, if you choose somebody na sabihin mo na, I would like to work on ganito. Ay, hindi ko nandit. Ipat ka na lang ng advisor or doon ka na kay ganito, doon ka na kay ganito. Yung parang, because you were chosen, parang mayroon ng effort dun sa estudyante to approach you. Diba? Tapos ayaw mo. So medyo parang, ayaw mo, wag mo. Diba? Parang well, ano naman yun? Observation ko lang. But the thing is, you have to put in mind. Ano yun parang gut feel. Diba? Si Denise, hindi ko naman yan advice talaga Diba? Hindi ko talaga yan advice. So, nung nag-defend lang siya ng kanyang proposal, biglang ako na ang naging advisor niya. Pero hindi naman niya ako in-approach. Di ba? Hindi naman niya ako in-approach. Hindi siya nakahindi. So, ka naman kinambench. Sabi ko naman, sige. Tapos ang topic ni Denise, kapag Denise, hindi ko carry itong topic na to. O, they have to learn the topic. Mas maganda rin pala, at talagang iniiwasan ko ang topic na yun. For some reason, bakit ba naman naka-oo ako dito? Eh di, it so happen na, oo nga, marginalized ng grupong ito. Na parang hindi ko nga naman pala naisip na, kasi lalo na sa DevCom, we're so boxed. No? Na very narrow ang perspective namin na these are the only marginalized groups that we know. Farmers, fisherfolk, women, or out-of-school youth. Na parang may iba palang grupo. So, na-expand nga yung perspective mo. At nagdagdagan pa ng nagdagdagan. May bonggang-bonggang expert na ito. Okay, so these are the faculty members that we have who could serve as your member or your thesis advisor. So pagka presentation na, then you could approach them. I suppose we will have the presentation in this room. Okay? So, dahil ito naman ang ating first series in a meeting, kung aabot tayo sa 300, ito po ang ating gagawin. Unlike sa traditional, no? Sa traditional programs, we do this first. Gagawa ka muna ng committee mo. Sa DEFCON, MDC, ito yung last na gagawin. Kasi hindi namin alam kung aabot ka dun sa huli. At saka yung sa amin kasi mayroong plan of study na ginagawa. Eh dito, wala naman tayong POS. You're limited to the courses that we have prepared for you. So there's no need to advise on a regular basis. Okay, so things to do prior to your conduct of your DEFCON 300. So these are the things that you need to do. Creation of your committee, guidance committee. Ito yung mga steps. First, you will have to present your research proposal. First 3 units, usually 2 months before that semester ends. So pag enroll na nyo ng particular semester, let's say first, in your first semester, 300A. So kung magsisimula tayo ng semester ng January, by March, dapat meron ka ng research proposal. Dapat nakaschedule na kayo. You agree now as a class, so lahat ng DEFCON 300, as a class, you agree on when are you going to present. Kasi normally, we hold it here, and we have like 10 presenters per meeting for 30 minutes each. So you're given 30 minutes to present your proposal, at magsisimula ng magtanong ang mga faculty and staff. Pero huwag kayo matatakot, di naman kayo babarilin doon, di naman kayo, yun lang, mga, what's the communication angle of that study? Yung mga tipong, have you read my book on how to write a thesis proposal? Aray, parang ako nagtuturo ng 204. Kaya bongga-bongga aaralin yung 204. Kaya every time na magto-204, medyo kinakabahan ako. Kasi I'm handling the research course. So, ibig sabihin, bakit mo pinalampas yan? Eh, wala namang communication angle dyan. So, medyo reflection. Kaya ako, I always tell my 204, be prepared for blah, blah, blah. Make sure it addresses the SDG. Make sure it's a communication study. Make sure. Pero pagdating dito, walay pa rin. So, bahala na kayo. Sige. Pero I think it's a good exercise because I think the students were able to have a broader perspective of how they're going to do their research. So after your presentation, right after the presentation, 10 kayo dito. Nandito rin yung mga faculty members. So after the presentation, medyo may form na kayong dala. And then you will have to approach the people that you would like to work with. Ma'am, pwede ba kayong chair? Patungin mo muna, huwag muna isuot ang pangalan. Baka ayaw sumahan. Magkano na yung mga advice, hindi ko type yan. Okay, tayo dyan. So pag umuo na, sige, susulat ko na po. Ma'am, sino po kaya ang members ko? Kunin mo si ganito, kunin mo si ganyan. Para yung committee, must have a good combination. No, yung committee dapat medyo parehang mag-isip. Kasi pag minsan, mayroong mga committee members na kawawa si advisee. Kasi hindi sila mag-meet. So dapat medyo nag-meet ang minds ng inyong members. Kaya naman mag-meet yan. Kaya lang yung meeting, alam mo yung meeting, minsan maganda, minsan pangit. Kaya you have to prepare for a magandang meeting. Okay? Next is you have to fill up the form for your nomination and duly sign before you go. Kasi you will not be able to see you again, at least for the particular meeting. So paglabas ninyo, sign na yung form ng mga respective members or your chosen committee members. And then you give that to Miss Ems. Tita Ems, yung may binigay ng mga ano kanina, namimigay ng mga regalo, ng mga freebies. So you give that to Miss Ems, so yung araw dapat sa baba. And then, this will be approved, or get a copy of the approved form of committee form, and Ms. Ems to provide a copy to the advisor and to the members. And this is the time that you will have to work closely with your advisor. So hindi na ako, kasi ako 300. So pag pumili na kayo ng inyong advisor, then the communication between you and your advisor na lang. You do not communicate to me. Kasi minsan, Ma'am Benz, hindi sumasagot siya nung hindi ko na tayo sagutin natin. Follow up mo lang. Yung sasabihin ko, follow up mo lang. Ma'am, pwede na ba akong magpalit ng advisor kasi 4 months na hindi pa binabasa? Ko, follow up mo lang. Baka busy pa. Kasi minsan talaga, there are other priorities. Not because hindi pinapansin, but because hindi ka pa naman enrolled at that particular time. Parang summer, i-expect mo mag-comment. Siyempre hindi. Diba? Pero minsan naman iba, mag-comment din kasi. Pero technically, hindi basta-basta nagpapalit ng advisor. It's not only unethical, but also medyo insulting. Parang yun yung greatest insult that you could give to your advisor. Kasi pag nagpalit ng advisor, ibig sabihin, maraming ibig sabihin. So, once you choose your advisor, then you have to die with that advisor. At least for this course. Yun na yun. Pinili mo yan eh. Sorry ka na lang. Yan ang pinili mo. Hindi naman. There are just cases na, minsan naman, there are cases na, like halimbawa, gusto mo gawin ganito. Tapos biglang, ay ma'am, gusto ko na lang pala quanti. Lumipat ka na nga ng advisor. Kasi hindi ko yan. Yung mga nahihirapan ka na, paggagawa ito, paggagawa yan. Ma'am, ano na lang kaya? Quanti na lang. Hindi naman pwedeng ganun. Kaya nga, when you decide to do on a particular study, make sure that your mind is made up. Hindi pwede yung pauli-uli because you only have a year. Unless gusto mo magpatagal-tagal. Gusto mo magpatagal-tagal din at huwag ng graduate, pwede rin. So, working closely with your advisor after you have formed your committees. Okay, assuming that you have now defended your thesis, naka-defend ka na, pumunta ka na naman dito, that's your third time to come to HQ with your committee lang. So, we will set a room for you, set up the projector, defend your thesis. So, yung thesis na yun, give it some time. Huwag naman yung, halimbawa ang January to May. Ma'am, I will present in May. Graduation na, September. Paano kung hindi mo matapos? So, give it some time. If you're planning to graduate that particular semester, mga March pa lang mag-present ka na. And you will not be allowed to present if you are not ready. Kung hindi ka naman ready, hindi ka pa uupuin. Kasi this is now the time, may 3 members. So, the advisor is your friend. The advisor is your Rexona. But the two could be your critique. The other one could be your devil's advocate. So, maghahanap siya ng mali doon sa study. So, this committee now will ensure the quality of your output. So, hindi pwedeng friends lahat. Isa lang ang friend mo doon, yung advisor lang. So, yung advisor, kaaway din yung dalawa. Kumbaga, ang tinitest ngayon is the advisor and the advisee. Yung dalawa, pro-ho. Kasi that is their role. So kung ako yung devil's advocate, hahanap ako ng mali. I think your theory should be, I think talagang hahanap ka ng mali. Pero there are cases naman na wala ka nang makitang mali na, I think your study is really good. So sabi ng advisor, sabihin, very good ang aking advising. Pero hindi, it's the student. It's the student's work. Inyo yun eh. Kayo nag-isip noon, kayo nagsimula lahat. Kayo nag-conceptualize, and that's the most difficult part. How do you conceptualize? How do you problematize? Ang problema na may problema. Ganun. So that should be done 2 months before the semester ends to give you time to revise. In case nakapag-defend ka na, hindi mo ginawa ang revisions. Because you will have to revise if you want to graduate in that semester. You will have to enroll, the teacher will give you another S. So, dalawa na S's. 3. Buti walang A, S's. So, 3, you now have an S, so that makes it 6 units. So, tapos na. You are given 3 semesters more. Tigwa 1 unit each. So, that gives you a total of 9 units. After the 9th unit, pa rin. Hindi pa rin tinamad na, nanganak, namatay ang kapitbahay, lahat ng rason na operahan, lahat na lang. Okay. That's the experience. Every time a student fails to submit a requirement, laging help, financial, lagi may rason. Hindi ako pwede sabihin, ma'am, hindi ko ginawa, period. Diba? Ay, alam ko namang hindi totoo. Okay, okay lang din. Okay. Tapos sabihin, ang haba ng sinabi ko, sinabi lang sa akin ni ma'am, okay. Okay naman, alam ko naman hindi totoo. Go. 9 units na. So you have to enroll DevCom 300 at one time, 6 units, and you have to complete the 6 units. Otherwise, you get a 5. No more. Baboon. At yun, on the assumption that you have not reached MRR, maximum residency rule. So for masters, we have 7 years to complete. 7 years. Kaya 3 years lang yung makukompleto niya. Pero if you were not able to do that, you have 7 years. For DCOM, you have 10 years. Kasi long distance eh. Kaya long distance din yung palugya. Questions? Proceed pa ba tayo? Of course. Kaya mo si Denise. BAMS na, MDC pa. Sunod yan, DCOM na yung next year. Ay, napatawa si Denise. Nakaligtas na nga ako. Sasama na naman ako ulit dyan. Of course. Kasi there's no way but up. Especially if you're in the academy. Halagang ito lang. And then, your outputs, your outputs are very good in your classes. You could publish it. And then it could go into your portfolio, in your CV, in your credentials, especially to a faculty. Dito sa amin, sa Los Baños, up or out. If you're a master's degree, or instructor, magiging master's ka, then you are for tenure, up for tenure, medyo permanent ka. Once you are already there, you have to level up. Publish or perish naman. If you don't publish, goodbye. So kayo, yun ang tip ko sa inyo. If you have something really good, well, mga 163, very publishable yung 163 output ni Doc Joanne. You can publish it. Questions? Meron pa ba tayong tanong? Clarifications? Ito na ang huli niyong pagkakataon. Huling habilin. Parang sa mga naman. Questions? Any agam-agam? Any sa requirements, yes. Parang si Carla lang ang estudyante dito. Yes, Carla? Mike? Ay, hindi na. Wala nang re-defense, magastos yun. Because you know, the defense is face-to-face. Kahit ng research proposal, we do not encourage IP-based, no? Video call or Skype, kasi it's very frustrating on the part of the student and on the part of the faculty. We had several, lalo na yung mga sa Abu Dhabi, talagang they had to go to a hotel to ensure that there's a good connection, no? Strong, big bandwidth. Wala rin. Come again, ma'am? Come again, ma'am? Can you repeat, please? Repeat daw. Hindi na, no? Kasi ma'am, medyo choppy. Kasi medyo goodbye. So, we require them to come. But of course, there are cases na talagang hindi makakapunta. Ang pinadala ay video. O di sino nag-take note ng kanyang video? O di binidyo din. Ang comments, binidyo din. O pagdating doon ng binidyo, ewan ko kung paano sila nga nagko-communicate. Kasi it's really advantageous if you come. So, dalawang face-to-face yun. The defense and, lalo na yung defense, hindi talaga pwedeng Skype ang defense. Like the one in Japan, we didn't have any problem. Dito namin ginawa, parang nag-uusap lang talaga. Very clear. Wala talagang ka-gap-gap. Walang ka-ano. Because of the bandwidth. Eh dito, naka-bandwidth lahat. Or naka-subscribe lahat. May pasok. And also, make sure that your presentation is done between Monday to Thursday only. No Saturdays, no Fridays. Kasi walang pasok ang OU ng Friday. Eh di lalo naman ng Saturday. Except today. Kaya very special kayo. Okay pa ba? Scary ba? Parang naiiyak mo si ano. Parang ayoko na sabi ni Jan. Ayoko na. Hindi, bakit na kinaya ni Denise? Yes? Chill.
Regarding the learning centers, the role of the learning centers is only to administer the examinations after the
Sometimes, yes.
and then if up some orders from the library.
Coordinator sila. So offshore, we have the embassy naman, where they take their exams. Yes, ma'am.
I heard po kasi, wala na lang learning centers po dito.
Hindi ko lang sure. The nearest would be Davao. Usually naman, everything can be done online. Lahat naman, it's there eh. Drafting. Ha? Malay mo. Malay mo, depende yon. Depende yun sa bonggahang exchange, ha? Okay, Ma'am Ju. Okay. Swerte. Sana mag-abroad siya ulit. Kaso hindi mo matiteacher yun. Pang-DCOM yun. Pag nag-DCOM ka, screener course, DEMCOM 310. Tatlo teachers. Ma'am Mendes, Ma'am Gigi, at si Ma'am Gigi. Com theories, advanced com theories. Questions?
Since naka-plan na po lahat ng courses or students na pinaka-take for FICS, pwede ko bang maka-request ng plans na yun?
Meron yatang ginawa si... May nag-print yata si Ems or si Tita Emmy. Kung hindi naman, I could post it in the portal.
Kasi last 3 years na talaga kung kasi dati sa home, kung tinignan mo, it's a 20 year course.
Based on schedule. Merong iba nakakatuwa niya kasi nga, nag-9. Walang summer. Walang summer. May nag-9 naman, carry din naman na. Hindi, siya 66. Hindi, undergrad yung 30. Marami na siya masyadong requirement, like sa 202 ilan. Marami.
30 units ka kung 6.3.
Sobra naman itong makakompare. 125 naman. It paid off.
Sabay na 263 so ikaw.
Ayan, right. Kayo, pwede naman ninyong i-jumble kung hindi niyo type yung Basta wag yung palalampasin yung mga courses offered during the second semester. Kasi may hirapan kayo 1 year ulit mo. Sakit ulo. So, palitan ko na yung recommendation na to.
Kasi magdalay ko naman yung
Oo, kasi yung manang yun ang value added nun. Your 203 will prepare you to 204. Pag masyadong malayo si 203, ano nga yun? Ay, tanda ko talaga yun, pero hindi ko talaga maalala.
lipat na lang sa second semester.
Maganda din kasi na yung 203 ay medyo fresh. Para pag-prepare ng 204, pugod ka na lang. Or habang inaaral mo ang 203, parang maganda to. Parang ito ang gusto kong gawin. Pero pag masyadong malayo, connect, and then do not take 204 during your second semester. Masyadong maaga. Patanda-tanda muna kayo. Kaya, second year. Okay? Wala na bang tanong? Hindi pa pala ako mag-thank you. O ano?
Base your grades for your students?
Meron tayong your TMAs. Diba meron tayong TMAs? It means tutor marked assignments. So TMAs are marked. Meron ka nito, meron ka nito. Pero syempre, titingnan mo rin yung quality ng tutor marked assignments. We don't have rubrics for that. I have rubrics for MMS 120, that's common culture. Pero for this, I don't have a rubric because the assignments are very straightforward. Kumbaga, 20 ganito, inilagay mo 3 lang, o 20 divided by 3, o yan ang grade mo. No? Sinabi natin ganito, o 5 lang ginawa mo, ang requirement ay 10, o di 50% ka lang. It's smart. But the last, yung RSP, yung reflection synthesis piece, yung Ayun lang addition pala ninyo. Yun ang medyo bigat. At saka yung inyong AA. Yung authentic assessment. Because that is my oral exam. Laging ganito ang linya ko. I have 32 questions. Pick a number between 1 to 32. Sinusunod ako ni Dr. Flore. Kasi I do my AA at home. I have 32 questions. Pick a number between 1 to 32. Sabi nga, number 7, here's your question. At meron pala yung una, pag umpisa, bakit ka nag-decom? Ano ginagawa mo ngayon? Nasaan ka ngayon? Sagot naman, sa bahay. Kung ano, obvious sa bahay. I mean, what do you do? Yun pala. Parang to kampante. Pero maya-maya, eto na mga tanong. I have 32 questions. So yung 32 questions na yun are based on the objectives of the course. So hindi naman yung lalabas doon sa course. So ibig lang sabihin, huwag yung memorize yung libro. Kasi hindi naman memorization yun. We call it authentic assessment. So may AA yun. So you have to invite me. Parang 3 pa lang yata nag-i-invite sa akin. To sa Skype. And then you appoint a time. Kailan kayo pwede. Ay hindi, ako pala mag-assign. Para sure. At saka madaling checkan kung sinong wala. Yun. So doon magmamatter yung inyong grades in terms of the other requirements. But the tutor mark, hindi ganun kabigat kaysa sa applied. Yung inyong individual outputs. Malay ko, kinuha nyo lang sa kung saan at kaninong graduate yung inyong 1 and 2 and 3. So, minamark ko lang siya. Walang laman. Pero, but you know, the studies that you do, yung iba talagang very systematic yung pagkakagawa na it's really good. Ngayon, medyo may udagdag ng points to very good. Kasi you have to read through. Minsan pareho lang, kala mo nakansult ka ha. Ako, babalik ko naman. Please submit something that cannot be challenged. Ibig sabihin, nangopya ka. Pag nag-AA naman, mga tipong, I know I wrote it somewhere. Nakasulat sa sahig. Sa ceiling. Ibig sabihin, dead. Ibig sabihin, wa. So kita naman how you articulate, how you internalize the course, especially now that you're able to differentiate between mass comm, between comm arts, between the other kamag-anak of DevCom. Doon natin makikita. And what you do. Pero very spontaneous. Tapos na po ang 15 minutes, ma'am. Tama na po. Kasi 15 minutes eh. It's a 15-minute talk. Nag-AA ka ba? Hindi ka nag-AA. Bagong ano ko yun. Additional ko yun. Kasi nga, I thought that there should be a real transfer of learning. So doon sa AA, makikita ko ngayon kung how deep your learning was. Hopefully. Okay? So alam niyo na yung aking script, babaguhin ko ngayon. I have 50 questions. I have 100 questions. You have that more question. Tama ng 32. Pang Miss Universe, mami, hindi ko kaya sagutin. Alam mo naman, mga Miss Universe, talo. Hindi, doon, di yung, chika-chika lang yun. Kaya mga rolling eyes, kaya dapat naka-ano kayo, pag mga nag-roll ang eyes, ibig sabihin, invento, ha? Mag-shades kayo. Can you remove your shades, please? Sorry po. Okay lang, hindi mo nakakalabas yan sa screen. Kasi minsan, ma'am, ready na pa ako mag-AA. Ma'am, tika lang ha, kasi naman lang eh. May mga aso, may mga motor. Parang bukas lang tayo mag-AA. Di ba, minsan may mga, Mami, yung mix mo mo. Siyempre, household. Wait lang ma'am, kasi nag-aantay kayo kasunod mo. Kasi every 15 minutes may 9 to 9:15, tapos 9:16 to 9:30, gano'n, 9:31 to 10, 9:45. Kumbaga may naka-on board. So pag kasinet mo yung time na yun, dapat medyo naman tahimik yung lugar. At, alam mo yun, yung magkakaintindihan tayo. Ma'am, choppy ang dating mo, ma'am eh. Sabi ko sa'yo, magkuha ka ng magandang connection eh. So usually, they go for internet cafe o kaya sa office na medyo maganda yung connection. 15 minutes lang naman yun, 15 minutes of your life. Madali. Okay? Are we good? Questions? Meron pa? I'm just an email away. Di ba, Denise?
The fastest.
Di ba ako nag-reply sa iyo? Saan? Saan ka nag sa portal?
Ay, hindi po. Yung sila just yung email.
No, the old email, you don't do that.
Oo.
Yahoo or Gmail.
Nagtanong po kasi ako anong ginagawin.
Anong dapat mong enroll?
Sabi kasi,
Carla, ano pilido mo? Carla Francisco. Wala nga akong nakakalalang Carla Francisco. Ako kasi kahit saan ako, basta ako may connect. Meron pa akong isa, ewan ko alam kung nandito. Sabi can somebody, parami siyang sinendan, can somebody tell me where I could, it's about sa registration. Kaya ako naman, alam mo naman kasi automatic. Please check with the office of the registrar. Sabi naman sa akin, wow! Question mark, may ano pa, exclamation point pa. Is that how you respond to your students? Is this how UP treat their students? You did not even say who you are. You did not even say who your name is. Sabi ko naman, apologies. I thought I was doing you a favor. Next time, I will be more careful. Apologies accepted. Okay. Lagot ka sa akin. Nakita tayo ulit. Joke lang. Sabi siguro nga kasi na parang, I introduce myself. I'm Dr. Benjamina Flor, the program chair, the Master of Development Communication, blah, 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 blah. I'll be more careful next time. I go, you can't expect me to do a complete, no? It's an iPhone. Kaya ng iPhone eh. Buti nga hindi ako nag-internet language. Di ba? Parang, ikaw naman, Dear Erica, thank you, Benji. I respond to hundreds of mails a day. Parang, I hope you understand. I respond to hundreds. But thank you for calling my attention. Jepper. Charot. But of course, no, hindi siya sanay sa ganun. Tapos siya din yung nag-asa ng apology na, I'm sorry, basta natin. Okay. Thank you. Basta may tanong kayo ha, mag-ano lang, email.
can you have a class picture?
Oh, sure. May class picture pala.